Well, I got some time, so I'm back. I'm not even sure that I'm enjoying this. Oddly, I am, but I'm... It has been such a weird life. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't care. See, this is a really great opening to a really great game, I think. Oh, I forgot. I stopped myself here. Why does she look all stretched out and funny?
Go ahead, Outlander.
Just
what
for
do
a
you
moment,
need?
that's all it looked like to me. Is it? Never mind. Oh, there he comes. Look at him go. Good job. Okay, let's do this. Fucking dead. Now let's do something else because there's a fun guy coming. Let's see, third barrier. And last but hardly least. Where's that guy? Where did it came from nowhere. Did it just generate? Is this luck? Oh, no. It was, well, it was. Let me out. Oh, mother. Okay. Okay, sanctuary. That really hurt. We aren't doing that. Tell me there's a reject magic. Wait, is it fire? It is! See, this is part of the gameplay. This is why this game is so good. Willpower. Oh, I can stack these. I forgot about that. I'm doing that. There's no real reason to. I just think it would be cool. Oh, Jesus! Hi? A flame Atronac. I'll be honest, I have never fought one of these before. Not in any of my gameplay. What does that sound? Oh, that's them watching Stargate in the other room. Ah. Oh, and there's you. You piece of shit. Take all. Just lie there with your boobies out. That's what you get for fucking with me. Mine. Mine. Also mine. Mine. Mine, mine. Mine, mine. 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 You know, if they're giving you something to smell a key here, I think I'll sniff it out. Okay, give me the shit. Potion of detect key. Just out of curiosity, you know? Ow! Oh. Oh, yeah, oh. Is it, oh, You know, I'm not even gonna worry about it. What is this? What is going on with me? Is it just gonna hang out here a while? Okay. You know, I don't care. Let's see. Oh, jeez, this is some good shit. Where was that thing before? Oh, fuck, I'm a baby. I is baby. his baby. And I can't do shit, but let's go ahead and do this. Yay! What's all in here? Yeah. Wait, I already have that. Anyway, it's fine. I collect books. It's fine. Okay, sure. I should get more luck someday. Dan would be screaming at me about this point about how I don't need to be touching any of it. I would be debating with him about how I can do whatever I want. And then now he is gone, so I don't know why I'm letting his responses dictate what I do. But you know what? It's just been a really bad week. A really bad month. A really bad year. And now I am mud on her face, and I'm trying to pick this lock on this chest. And somehow this feels like symbolic of my life. What's in there? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, thanks. As long as I... Okay, that was really huge. You know... I'm looking forward to this. What's this like? Oh, neat. Oh, we're neat again. You told... Okay, the First Hold Revolt by Mavius C. You told me that if her brother won, she would be sister to the King of Wayrest, and Riemann would want to keep her for the alliance. But her brother Helseth lost, and has fled with his mother back to Morrowind, and still Riemann has not left her to marry me. Lady Gialine took a long, slow drag of the hookah, and blew out dragon's breath, so the scent of blossoms perfumed her gilded chamber. You make a very poor advisor, Kael. I might have spent my time romancing the King of Cloudrest or Alinor instead of the wretched royal husband of Queen Morgia. Kael knew better than to hurt his lady's vanity by the mere suggestion that the King of Firsthold might have come to love his Dunmer queen. Instead, he gave her a few minutes to pause and look from her balcony out over the high cliff palaces of the ancient capital. The moons shone like crystal on the deep sapphire waters of the Abyssinian Sea. Is that Abyssinian? It was ever springtide here, and he could well understand why she would prefer a throne in this land rather than in Cloudrest or Alinor. I have no idea what's going on. Finally he spoke. The people are with you, my lady. They do not relish the idea of Riemann's dark elf heirs ruling the kingdom when he is gone. I wonder, she said calmly, I wonder if, as the king would not give up his queen for want of alliances, whether she would give herself up out of fear. Of all the people of Firsthold, who most dislikes the Dunmer influence on the court? Is this a trick question, my lady? Asked Kael. The Trebite monks, of course. Their credo has ever been for pure Altner bloodlines on Somerset, and among the royal families most of all. But, my lady, they make very weak allies. I know, said Gialine, taking up her hookah again thoughtfully, a smile creeping across her face. Morgia has seen to it that they have no power. She would have exterminated them altogether had Riemann not stopped her for all the good they do for the country folk. What if they found themselves with a very powerful benefactress, one with intimate knowledge of the court of Firsthold, the chief concubine of the king, and all the gold to buy weapons with that her father, the king of Skywatch, could supply? Well armed and with the support of the country people, they would be formidable, nodded Kael. But as your advisor, I must warn you, if you make yourself an active foe of Queen Morgia, you must play to win. You must pay to win. Wow, you can tell where I've been. She has inherited much of her mother, Queen Berenzia's intelligence and spirit of vengeance. She will not know I am her foe until it is too late, shrugged Gialine. Go to the Trebite monastery and bring me Friar Lilam. We must strategize our plan of attack. For 2 weeks, Riemann was advised about growing resentment in the countryside from peasants who called Morgia the Black Queen, but it was nothing that he had not heard before. His attention was on the pirates on a small island off the coast called Cae Luis Lar. They had been more brazen as late, attacking royal barges in organized raids. To deliver a crushing blow, he ordered the greatest part of his militia to invade the island, an incursion he himself would lead. A few days after Riemann left the capital, the revolt of the Trebite monks exploded. The attacks were well coordinated and without warning. The chief of the guards did not wait to be announced, bursting into Morgia's bedchamber ahead of a flurry of maidservants. "My queen," he said, "it is a revolution." By contrast, Gillian was not asleep when Kale came to deliver the news. She was seated by the window, smoking her hookah and slooking at the spires far off in the hills. "Morgia is with council," he explained. "I am certain they are telling her that the Trebite monks are behind the uprising and that the revolution will be at the city gates by morning." "How large is the revolutionary army in contrast to the remaining royal militia?" asked Gillian. "The odds are well in our favor," said Kale, not perhaps as much as we hoped. The country folk, it seems, like to complain about their queen, but stop short of insurrection. Primarily, the army is composed of the monks themselves and a horde of mercenaries your father's gold bought. In a way of thinking, it is preferable this way. They are more professional and organized than a common mob. Really, they are a true army, complete with a horn section." Good. Complete with a horn section. That's my line of the day. "If that doesn't frighten the Black Queen into abdication, nothing will," smiled Gillian, rising from her chair. "The poor dear must be beside herself with worry. I must fly to her side and enjoy it." I don't think that... I would not abdicate for people like that, but anyway. I would run like fuck. Gillian was disappointed when she saw Morgia come out of the council chambers. Considering that she had been woken from a deep sleep with cries of revolution, and had spent the last several hours in consultation with her meager general force, she looked beautiful. Men wrote this. There was a sparkle of proud defiance in her bright red eyes. "My queen," Gillian cried, forcing real tears. "I came as soon as I heard. Will we all be slaughtered?" "A distinct possibility," replied Morgia simply. Gillian tried to read her, but the expressions of women, especially alien women, were a far greater challenge than those of Altmer men. "I hate myself for even thinking to propose this," said Gillian, "but since the cause of their fury is you, perhaps if you were to give up the throne they might disperse. Please understand, my queen, I am thinking only of the good of the kingdom and our own lives." "I understand the spirit of your suggestion," smiled Morgia, "and I will take it under advisement. Believe me, I've thought of it myself, but I don't think it will come to that." "Have you a plan for defending us?" asked Gillian, contorting her features to an expression she knew bespoke girlish hope. The king left us several dozen of his royal battle mages," said Morgia. "I think the mob believes we have nothing but palace guards and a few soldiers to protect us. When they get to the gates and are greeted with a wave of fireballs, I find it highly likely that they will lose heart and retreat." "But isn't there some protection they could be using against such an assault?" asked Gillian in her best worried voice. "If they knew about it, naturally there is. But an unruly mob is unlikely to have mages skilled in the arts of restoration, by which they could shield themselves from the spells, or mysticism, by which they could reflect the spells back on my battle mages. That would be the worst scenario, but even if they were well organized enough to have mystics in their ranks and enough of them to reflect so many spells, it just isn't done. No battlefield commander would devise such a defense during a siege unless he knew precisely what he was going to be meeting. And then, of course, once the trap is sprung," Morgia winked, "it's too late for a countering spell. She knows what's up. Gillian is about to get fucked." "A most cunning solution, your highness," said Gillian, honestly impressed. Morgia excused herself to meet with her battle mages, and Gillian gave her an embrace. Kale was waiting in the palace garden for his lady. "Are there mystics among the mercenaries?" she asked quickly. "Several, in fact," replied Kale, bewildered by her query. "Largely rejects from the Psychic Order, but they know enough to cast the regular spells of the school." "You must sneak out the city gates and tell Friar Lilam to have them cast reflection spells on all the front line before they attack," said Gillian. "That just seems like a good plan." "That's most irregular battlefield strategy," frowned Kale. "I don't know, if I had magic, I'd use magic all the fucking time." But I guess no one ever listens to me. Also, this is, never mind. I know it is, fool. That's what Morgia is counting on. There's a gang of battle mages who are going to be waiting on the battlements to greet our army with a barrage of fireballs. Battle mages? I would have thought that King Riemann would have brought them with him to fight the pirates. You would have thought that, laughed Gillian, but then we would be defeated. Now go. Friar Lilam agreed with Kale that it was a bizarre, unheard of way to begin a battle, casting reflection spells on all one's troops. It went against every tradition, and as a Trebite monk he valued tradition above every other virtue. There was little other choice, though, given the intelligence. He had few enough healers in the army as it were, and their energies could not be wasted casting resistance spells. At dawn's light, the rebel army was in sight of the gleaming spires of First Hold. Friar Lilam gathered together every soldier who knew even the rudimentary secrets of mysticism, who knew how to tap into the elementary conundrums and knots of the energies of magicka. Though few were masters of the art, their combined force was powerful to behold. A great surge of entangling power washed over the army, crackling, hissing, and infusing all with their ghostly force. When they arrived at the gates, every soldier, even the least imaginative, knew that no spell would touch him for a long time. What about the horn section? Are they going to be safe? Friar Lilam watched his army batter into the gate with the great satisfaction of a commander who has counteracted an unthinkable attack with an outrageous defense. The smile quickly faded from his face. What a shock. They were met at the battlements not by mages, but by common archers of the palace guard. As the flaming arrows fell upon the besiegers like a red rain, the healers ran in to help the wounded. Their healing spells reflected off the dying men one after the other. I love this. Oh, a lot more makes sense now. Chaos ruled as the attackers suddenly found themselves defenseless and began a panicked, unorganized retreat. Friar Lilam himself considered briefly holding his ground before fleeing himself. Later, he would send furious notes to Lady Gillian and Kale, but they were returned. Even his best secret agents within the palace were unable to find their whereabouts. Neither had, as it turns out, much previous experience with torture, and they soon confessed their treachery to the king's satisfaction. Kale was executed, and Gillian was sent back with escort to her father's court of Skywatch. He has still to find a husband for her. Riemann, by contrast, has elected not to take a new royal concubine. The common folk of Firsthold consider this break in palace protocol to be more of the sinister alien influence of the Black Queen, and grumble to all who will listen. That's actually kind of cool. It's mine now. Okay. Let me look at this. So I can level up again. Oh, come on. Give me some shit. I'm gonna take everything before I lie down and become smarter and better and prettier. What's over here? They had a cooking fire. What's in the pot? Nothing? Aw. I was kind of hoping that... You know what? Oh my god, there would be so much smoke. This whole room would just be filled with smoke. But I guess they have magic. That's one thing that is kind of weird about, like, about games like this. Or stories like this. What's down there? Let me out. Let me out. What the fuck? The little gremlin's down there! Oh, no, never mind. I thought it was something else. Never mind, don't listen to me. There wasn't a gremlin down there. It was just Malowin. Or whatever her... Manway. It's Manway! Mine. 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 Okay. So many mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I'm gonna put them in a mushroom soup of some kind, I expect. Or, I mean, Muds will. Well... I'm so tired. Yeah. I didn't forget about this man. Sjarnfeed. You know what? I'm not carrying all your bullshit with me. You just lie there and think about what you did. Was that Manwee? Am I going in circles? Am I going in circles? Lie there. Think about what you've done. Booty up. Booty up. Tits out. Rub those tits on the ground. No. No. These are not very good. But I will take your stuff. This is my stuff now. They're all just apprentices shit. I'm stuck! So, was that Manwee I saw? There's something going on down here. There's either it was Manwee or it's a new friend who I'm going to murderize. It's that way. This is the way. I knew it! There's a new friend over here. What's up? How you doing? She looks real busy. You know what that means. She looks really upset. Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, first of all, let's do Devil Spear. Yeah? What's up? How about Sanctuary? And last but hardly least, we are going to do this. Hey, what's up, lady? You doing okay? I saw you running around over here. Are you okay? Yeah? You doing okay? What's up? Is this Manwee?
Yes, Outlander.
Oh, it is Manwee. I wasn't doing anything. No, you can trust me. It's fine. Oh yeah, I was up there. All right. Okay. Get out of the way, Manwee. I guess it was. I guess that's everything. I don't see anything else. It's really weird that it says, hey, you should be able to detect this key. I'm probably just making up a bunch of nonsense, let's be honest. Yeah. Oh well, such is life. Okay, I guess that's it. A lectern and Manwee. It's Manwee and some guys, and I jumped on them, said surprise. Then they all died, and I was real surprised. I have never fought a flame atronach, and I just think that's very cool. Look at him, he's T-posing. He's beautiful. Oh, you know what? I could have just jumped off to hang out with Manwee, but oh well. I shall get out of here then. We're leaving. Yo? Yo.
What is this regarding, Argonian?
This is regarding nothing really. I'm just leaving. Bye. I don't care. Now, it is time. I'll bet it's night out here. Okie dokie. What a very frightening place this is. Oh, I hear a monster. Okay, so that's what I did. Journal. She gave me the 2,000 gold, so that's pretty cool. Oh, I made a mistake. I was curious, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, Manwy is done. Larar Berloth. To get to Sulipund. Oh, really? Sulipund will be on my left, just before the path. Dunmer Stronghold to the south. If I head north on the path between the hills, Sulipund will be... Okay. What? Hey! Oh, of course it's a cliff racer. Nothing but cliff racers. Get out of here. Stop it. Getting poked by a... Okay, where's that thing? Okay, there's that. South, so I need to go past it. I guess I'm going straight south. Hey, little guy, what's up? You ready to die? Goodbye, rat. Thank you for your flesh. What am I hearing? Is it steam? I need Sulipund. This is one of my favorite mods. I'm just telling you right now. Oh no, not danger music. No, it's gonna be a fucking cliff racer again, isn't it? Yeah. I can't wait for Jub to kill all of them. That's the new thing I discovered, and I think it's amazing. Please cease. Please desist. Please die. Thank you. Leave. Oh man. So I've been having just the worst time. The worst time. I am just... So I'm looking for a job, and I've been out of a job forever. And naturally, very naturally, it is, like, ridiculously hard to find a job right now in these situations, in this particular climate. It was hard before, but this is ridiculous. So I've been applying all over the place for all kinds of stuff I'd normally never consider. Which I'm sure the people that... What are you doing? Come here. And it has just been like... Are you gonna come over here yet? Are you gonna come over here? Are you gonna murder me yet? Two of you? Okay. Oh, you got down here! Yeah, you don't know how the Y-axis works. Oh, I forgot to... Oh no, I'm so in danger! It's approaching me. Well, it's approaching me, I'm at least in theory. Hi. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. Bye. Okay, I should see it to the south, so then I can... Owie! Oh, now you come down here. Get out of here. Okay, so first things first, let us... The fuck was that? What was that clinky sound? I need to ask Dan what that means, because I know I've heard it before. Okay. Well, I guess if I have any cheap health potions, I could just use that real fast. Restore health? Oh, no, we're gonna use the heavy restore health. That's what we do. Okay, and also look at that journal again. Dunmer Stronghold to the south. If I head north on the path between the hills. To the south. Okay, so I've just gone around it. It's clearly going to be up this way. Aboop. 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 Come on, I'm trying to boop. I am mud on her face. The worst of the boopers. Aw, Jesus. Okay, there's a path. Okay, so south. South, there's a path through the hills. Okay. What are you talking about? Girl? Who's trying to hit me? What? Oh, you! Perish. Thank you. Okie dokie. So, we have here, it's to the south. There is a way up. I guess that's the route. The same route that you would take, it would be up this way. Back toward Punabi. Alright. If I head north on the path between the hills. Okay, it's up this way. Oh, it's literally the way I was going before. I feel really dumb, but okay. Let's see, and then it's gonna be where though after I go for a while? It's gonna be... Sulapun will be on my left, just before the path splits. Okay. Killed a rat. Killed some guys. I just realized it's a nighty night for my Burbo when he's yelling about it. Oh yeah, well, he goes to bed in about 15 minutes. And he is feeling... I hung out with him while I was out there. But they're watching... There are some folks out there and they're watching Stargate. And I don't want to watch Stargate. That's all. I don't know why I don't like Stargate. You would think that I would. I just don't care. I mean, I guess it's not liking, it's just I don't care. And yet it seems like it would be up my alley. Not to mention, you know, Christopher Judge. That's all I gotta say. Christopher Judge. That man is mwah. And he's so cool that he's cooler than everybody else around him by, like, default. And it's very hard for me to... It's also kind of hard for me to take seriously, which is, okay, kind of stupid, I guess, because it's Stargate, but... Oh, that must be it! That's it! It's on the left! Sulapund? It's Sulipund! As we used to say back in the day, pwned. I don't have to fight this. Will you die? Die! I don't like you. I just want to harvest sticks. Because if there's anything that my girl Muds does, it's mess around with sticks. Okie dokie. F5 and This is F5, an F5 moment, if ever there was one. Mm-hmm. You know what, Devil Spear? You understand me, you know? Devil Spear. I wonder who's gonna be in here. Hey, I feel like building a building that's just a hallway. Do any of you like that? Hi? Are you my friend? Hello. I don't know you. What do you want? I don't know. Background? Spellsword and hireling of the great house Telvanni. Oh! Tells Telvanni, we don't care about politics, we don't care what others think, we just want to be left alone. And our wizard lords and their mercenaries make sure no one bothers us. Okay. Okay, there's no Reverine, of course. If you want to talk with a spellsword with extensive experience in Morrowind, talk to Strillian Macro at the barracks in Nisus. He has a little brother named Micro. He served with several garrisons on Vardenfell, knows the island and its people, and doesn't mind taking time out to talk with anyone who shares his interest in the profession. Wow, neat. Sadrith Mora is the best town to shop for spells. That's cool. Whew. Western Imperial colonists of various races live mostly in the towns and villages of southwest Vardenfell. I am a spell sword. I make war with spell and sword, combining the arts of the College of Restoration, the College of Alteration, and the College of Destruction, with training in medium armor style, in block defense, and in the offensive disciplines of axes, blunt weapons, and long blades. I rely on enchanted weapons and enchanted armors to further augment my offensive and defensive abilities. This balance of steel and spell, offense and defense, mobility and protection is the signature of the spell sword. Okay, I feel a little better now. I was kind of worried this was just going to be a hallway. Oh. Will I get in trouble for fucking with this? Wow. Or, you know, I can't be in trouble if I never actually succeed. Just tell them the truth, I'm just practicing. Practicing on your stupid weapon. What's up, everyone? Why did he scare me? I don't like Bosmers.
Too much trouble. Must be going now.
Oh, shut up. He doesn't like me either. Background. Brithroth. Acrobat and hireling. Oh, an acrobat. It's about as bad as a bard. The Kamanatong is... yeah. Native Criminal Syndicate. Okay, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're a thief. I wouldn't be admitting that. I wonder how in trouble I'd get if I slept in his bed. Will I get in trouble just for looking in here? Just, you know, just looking at your clothes, seeing how you live, you know, stuff like that. Why did you trap your door? What are your friends like? I did read that the Telvanni are kind of fuckers, so... I never did pay attention to the houses when I was playing this, and I expect that Muds won't either. I had the biggest sense of deja vu just then. Like, I'd seen this before, and I couldn't tell you why. Okay, just before I really fuck up. I'm fine. Okay, I'll take your meat. What? No! Hey! What? You don't like that? She was very offended. Did I get in trouble? Uh-oh. Wait, no, I have no bounty.
I'm sure this is important, but I really must.
Just out of curiosity, I want to look at this. I do have a reputation at 1, but I don't think that means anything. I never got very far with that. Back when I played this, I would, Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't get in trouble. You don't get in trouble for being a bastard? Okay, they got some meats, they got some eggs. I'm not gonna carry stuff. Okay. Give me that. That's mine now. This is also mine. Ooh, what's that? Also mine. You know what? I'm not gonna fight people without reason. Stay out of here, lady. I still will. Steal all your shit.
What are you doing?
Stealing your shit? What are you gonna do about it? You wanna fight? She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Get yours, thief.
Not if you... Not here.
I couldn't possibly. Too busy. I'm sure this is important, but
Oh.
I really must go.
Okay. Background. Monk. We don't care about politics. You should speak with the monk and Diesel. And Disay at the Argonian mission. If the monk's life interests you, that is. It doesn't. The blight is a sickness you get from being outside during ash storms. The sickness comes from Red Mountain. It makes normal creatures into terrible monsters. So rude. I am a monk, in mind and spirit. I am a student of the hidden mysteries of the unseen world that lies behind the objects and ideas. Martial arts, pattern on rain of sand, elsewhere. Hand to hand. Okay, I don't care. Hey, are you that man? You are that man! Hey, mister, I have such a good deal for you! Wait until you hear about my cool ideas. Alright. Look how awesome I am. Background... Dunmer... Okay, join us. Do I look like a fool? Collect your dues from someone else, or at least give me a reason. Gateways rumors. Have you noticed, for all its proclamations about protecting the rights? Oh, you're one of those. Oh, a sorcerer, Okay. This is actually answering something that I had a question about. I'm a sorcerer through my mastery of special disciplines of the College of Conjuration and my private studies of the Outer Realms and their powers and principalities. I have learned to summon and command their denizens to do my bidding. I do these things for coin or to suit my own interests. I also am an enchanter, enchanting items for my own use and for the use of others. My skill with enchantments also makes me more efficient in using enchanted items that I collect on my research expedition. Interesting. Imperial culture regards blood vampires as destructive monsters to be hunted and destroyed. However, romantic notions of noble, virtuous vampires persist in Imperial traditions, and vampires are thought to pass unrecognized in the Mages Guild and the Imperial aristocracy. And the Imperial, they're talking about, like, the Cyrodiil, right? So, persuasion. I can't believe this is working. Join us. If I agree to join, will you leave me to my research? Fine then. I will join the Mages Guild next time I'm in Balmora. Cool. Thank you. Reflections on cult worship in the Empire. From the correspondence of Cusius Plesia, Imperial trader, writing from the Voz trade house in Vardenfell district, province of Morrowind. I have noted that Heartlanders like myself and assimilated Imperial citizens of other races tend to impersonal and formal relationships with their gods and spirits. I'm guessing they missed a word. Tend to form. For us, cults are first and foremost social and economic organizations. We typically think of the 8 divines in the most abstract terms as powerful but indifferent spirits to be propitiated, and do not think of their relationships as personal. Notable exceptions include minor charismatic subcults of Akatosh and Dibella. The Imperial cult of Tiber Septim also has a significant charismatic subcult. With the exception of the Alessian Order, which Heartlanders regard as a dark age, religious cults have played only minor parts in Heartlander and Imperial history. The Septim Emperors have made it a policy to limit the influence of cult authorities in aristocratic, military, and bureaucratic affairs. Cult worship is regarded as a private and practical matter, and public pronouncements by religious figures are not welcomed. Nordic hero cults provide a strong countercurrent to the dominant secularism of the empire. The imperial cult of Tiber Septim is just such a hero cult, and among the military, provincial colonists, and recently assimilated foreigners, the cult is particularly strong and personal. The Tribunal Temple in Morrowind and its predecessor, House Ancestor cults, are, by contrast with imperial cults, extremely intimate and personal. In ancestor cults, the worshipper has a direct relationship with a blood family ancestor spirit, and the temple cultist's relationship with the tribunal is a relationship with a living, breathing god who walks the earth, speaks in person with priests and cultists, and whose daily actions are prescribed models for the daily actions of their followers. The differences in religious temperament between Heartlanders and Morrowind Dunmer accounts in large part for a consistent political and social misunderstanding between the two cultures. Heartlanders do not consider cult affairs as serious matters, where the Dunmer consider cult affairs, and in particular ancestral spirit veneration, to be very serious matters indeed. Heartlanders are casual and tolerant in religious matters. Dunmer are passionate and extremely intolerant. Heartlanders do not speak with their gods, and do not think of their actions as under constant review and judgment by their gods. The Dunmer feel that all they think and do is under the ever-watchful eye of the tribunal and family ancestor spirits. That is extremely cool. I love how much thought they put into this stuff. What? There's some good shit in here. Oh no, I'm gonna have to read this. This is neat. Oh no. I remember those books as being as really bad, even back when I had no taste at all. I'm ready. Okay. Man, I wish I could just steal these books and go on. Like, some of the books... Oh. I want to read this. Chronicles of Inchleft. This is a chronicle of events of historical significance to the Dwemer freehold colony of Inchleft. Like a sneeze. The text was probably recorded by an Altmer, for it is written in Aldmeris. 23. The Death of Lord Elendum. It happened in the second planting, PD 1220, that Lord Elendum, on a journey in the western uplands, came to Njleft, and Protector Anchard and General Rukangthunk met him there, and Dalen Zanshu also came to the meeting. They talked together long by themselves. But this was known of their business, that they were to be friends of each other. They parted, and each went home to his own colony. Bluthaunch and her sons came to hear of this meeting, and saw in this secret meeting a treasonable plot against the councils, and they often talked of this among themselves. When spring came, the councils proclaimed, as usual, a council meet in the halls of Bams Amschend. The people accordingly assembled, hand-fasted with ale and song, drinking bravely, and much and many things were talked over at the drink table, and among other things were comparisons between different Dwemer, and at last among the councillors themselves. One said that Lord Elendum excelled his fellow councillors by far, and in every way. At this councillor Bluthaunch, it's either Bluthaunch or Bluthanch, and I really like Bluthanch, was very angry, and said that she was in no way less than Lord Elendum, and that she was eager to prove it. Instantly both parties were so inflamed that they challenged each other to battle, and ran to their arms. But some citizens who were less drunk and more understanding came between them and quieted them, and each went back to his colony, but nobody expected that they would ever meet in peace again together. But then, in the fall, Lord Elendum received a message from Councillor Bluthanch, inviting him to a parley at Hendor Stardom's. and all Elendum's kin and citizens strongly urged him not to come, fearing treachery, but Lord Elendum would not listen to counsel, not even to carrying with him his honor guard. And sadly it came to pass that, while traveling to Hendor Stardoms and Chinzinch Pass, a host of foul creatures set upon Lord Elendum and killed him and all of his party, and many citizens said thereafter that Bloodhaunch and her sons had conjured these beasts and set them upon Lord Elendum, but nothing was proven. Lord Elendum lies buried at a place called Leftunch. I like these names. It hurts. Vampires of Vardenfell, Volume 1, Excerpts. The violent antipathy of Morrowind culture toward necromancy ensures that vampires are virtually unknown in Morrowind. The temple does not acknowledge the existence of Western vampire hunting orders. Nonetheless, interviews with temple officials persuade me that the Dunmer of Morrowind are experienced and knowledgeable in the handling of these menaces. On the other hand, they freely admit that even a large community of vampires might easily escape detection in the remote wastelands or in the subterranean labyrinths of abandoned strongholds and wizard towers. The Ash Vampire of Ashland legend is not undead. Sorceries and blessings affecting the undead reportedly have no effect on these creatures. No specimen has ever been examined, and no references have ever linked these legends with the known clans of Tamrielic vampires. Vardenfell's 3 known bloodlines differ greatly in their approach to prey. The Quara bloodline features exceptional strength and endurance and attacks in a state of ecstatic frenzy. Ooh, I love this. This is fun. Unday vampires are potent spellcasters seeking to hypnotize victims before feeding, while the swift and agile Bernie Sander clan vampires prefer stealth and ambush, first poisoning the victim with a bite, then withdrawing to a safe distance, returning to feed only when the prey has weakened. It is supposed that vampirism is contracted from wounds received from a vampire. Since few victims survive vampiric attacks or feedings, the process of contracting the disease is little understood. Some have suggested that victims may willingly submit themselves to the will of a vampire, but no real evidence of this exists. During the incubation phase, lasting up to 72 hours, the vampirism disease exhibits no symptoms and may be cured by general spellcraft or cult blessings. However, during incubation, some victims have reported sleep disturbances and troubling dreams. After symptoms are exhibited, however, the disease is incurable and irreversible. Uh-oh. That sucks. Ooh, Wild Elves? On Wild Elves by Kirjo Chorvak. In the wilds of most every province of Tamriel, descended philosophically, if not directly from the original inhabitants of the land, are the Aliens, commonly called the Wild Elves, while 3 races of elven stock, the Altmer, or High Elves, the Bosmer, or Wood Elves, and the Dunmer, or Dark Elves, have assimilated well into the new cultures of Tamriel. The Aliens and their brethren have remained aloof toward our civilization, preferring to practice the old ways far from the eyes of the world. The Wild Elves speak a variation of Old Cyrodiilic, opting to shun Tamrielic and separating themselves from the mainstream of Tamriel even further than the least urbanized of their elven cousins. In temperament, they are dark-spirited and taciturn, although this is from the point of view of outsiders, or Polani in their tongue, and doubtless they act differently within their own tribes. Indeed, one of the finest sages of the University of Gwillem was a civilized Ayleid elf, Tirhane Fear, 1E 2790 to 2E 227, whose published work on Wild Elves suggests a lively, vibrant culture. Fear is one of the very few Ayleids to speak freely on his people and religion, and he himself said, "The nature of the Ayleid tribes is multi-hued, their personalities often wildly different from their neighboring tribes." Fear, T. Nature of Ayleidic Poesy. University of Gwillem Press, 2E12. Good. You gotta keep it in order. Even in this magical world, you can't get away from attributions and having to copy them down in the proper format, huh? It kind of hurts me. You can't be free. Like any alien culture, wild elves are often feared by the simple people of Tamriel. Oh gosh, how would they like to know that that's how they're called? The Aelids continue to be one of the greatest enigmas of the continent of Tamriel. They seldom appear in the pages of written history in any role, and then only as a strange sight a chronicler stumbles upon before they vanish into the wood. When probable fiction is filtered from common legend, we are left with almost nothing. The mysterious ways of the Aelids have remained shrouded since before the First Era, and may well remain so for thousands of years to come. Honestly, what's the benefit? On Oblivion, by Morian Zenis. It is improper, however customary, to refer to the denizens of the dimension of Oblivion as demons. First of all, they get so offended. Like, excuse me. This practice probably dates to the Alessian doctrines of the First Era prophet Maruk, which, rather amusingly, forbade traffic with daemons, and then neglected to explain what daemons were. It is most probable that daemon is a misspelling or etymological rendition of Daedra, the old elven word for those strange, powerful creatures of uncertain motivation who hail from the dimension of Oblivion. Daedra is actually the plural form, the singular is Daedrath. In a later tract by King Hael the Pious of Skyrim, almost 1,000 years after the publication of the original doctrines, the evil machinations of his political enemies are compared to the wickedness of the demons of Oblivion. Their depravity equals that of Sanguine itself. They are cruel as Boethia, calculating as Molag Bal, and mad as Sheogorath. Hael the Pious thus long-windedly introduced 4 of the Daedra lords to written record. But the written record is not, after all, the best way to research Oblivion and the Daedra who inhabit it. Those who traffic with daemons seldom wish it to be a matter of public account. Nevertheless, scattered throughout the literature of the First Era are diaries, journals, notices for witch burnings, and guides for Daedra slayers. These I have used as my primary source material. They are, at least, as trustworthy as the Daedra lords I have actually summoned and spoken with at length. Apparently, Oblivion is a place composed of many lands, thus the many names for which Oblivion is synonymous: Cold Harbor, Quagmire, Moonshadow, etc. It may be correctly supposed that each land of Oblivion is ruled over by one prince. The Daedra princes, whose names appear over and over in ancient records, though this is not an infallible test of their authenticity or explicit existence, to be sure, are the aforementioned Sanguine, Boethia, Molag Bal, and Sheogorath, and in addition, Azura, Mephala, Clavicus Vile, Vernima, Malakath, Hermaeus, or Herma, there seems to be no one accepted spelling, Mora, Namira, Jigalag, oh man, that's my new name, Jigalag, Nocturnal, Mehrunes Dagon, and Periite. I have never heard of Periite, for that matter, I've never heard of Jigalag. Well, I've never heard of any of these except for I've heard of some of them, half of them maybe. So this will be a learning experience. And there are 3 good Daedra, right? Oh, never mind. I'm gonna have to look it up, because one of the things that makes this game so cool to me is that they don't have, like, they're just different perspectives on the same existing concept or person or event. So that's a lot of fun, but also I think it's kind of cool because then, like, if you don't have to worry about someone making a mistake or something, or you can just say that, oh, this is just someone's experience, personal experience. It's not set in stone. That's pretty cool. From my experience, Daedra are a very mixed lot. It is almost impossible to categorize them as a whole except for their immense power and penchant for extremism. But be that as it may, I have here attempted to do so in a few cases purely for the sake of scholastic expediency. Here's the one I am curious about. Okay. Mehrunes Dagon, Molag Bal, Periite, Boethia, and Vernima are among the most consistently demonic of the Daedra. Oh, so I'm wrong. Boethia is evil? But Boethia is one of the, he's a reflection of, or she's a reflection of one of the characters in the, Tribunal, right? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go look it up again. Let's see. Mehrunes Dagon, Molag Bal, Periite, Boethia, and Vernima are among the most consistently demonic of the Daedra, in the sense that their spheres seem to be destructive in nature. The other Daedra can, of course, be equally dangerous, but seldom purely for the sake of destruction as these 5 can. Nor are these previous 5 identical in their destructiveness. Mehrunes Dagon seems to prefer natural disasters, earthquakes, and volcanoes, for venting his anger. Oh, that reminds me. Has any geologist, explained what kind of, figured out what kind of geological case is going on in Morrowind? Like, what kind of volcano it might be? I wonder if there's a description of that. Just out of curiosity. I have to do research on volcanoes now. You know, because I want to be accurate to this fantasy game when I write the story that I'm writing. I lost track of my thought. The other Daedra can, of course, be equally dangerous, but seldom purely for the sake of destruction as these 5 can. Nor are these previous 5 identical in their destructiveness. Mehrunes Dagon seems to prefer natural disasters, earthquakes, and volcanoes for venting his anger. Molag Bal elects the employment of other Daedra, and Boethia inspires the arms of mortal warriors. Periite's sphere seems to be pestilence, and Vernima's torture. Oh. In preparation for the next installment in this series, I will be investigating 2 matters that have intrigued me since I began my career as a Daedra researcher. The first is on one particular Daedroth, perhaps yet another Daedra prince referred to in multiple articles of Incunabula as Hircine. Incunabula. Oh, that's a word. I need to look that up. Hircine has been called the huntsman of the princes and the father of man-beasts, but I have yet to find anyone who can summon him. The other, and perhaps more doubtful goal I have is to find a practical means for mortal men to pass through to oblivion. Oh boy, there's a game coming up you're gonna like. It has always been my philosophy that we need only fear that which we do not understand, and with that thought in mind I ever pursue my objective. God bless. The Brothers of Darkness by Pilar Assi. By Pilar Assi. I'm sorry for laughing. It's not that important. I'm so fucking mature. As their name suggests, the Dark Brotherhood has a history shrouded in obfuscation. Their ways are secret to those who are not themselves brothers of the Order. Brother is a generic term. Some of their deadliest assassins are female, but they are often called brothers as well. How they continue to exist in shadow, but be easily found by those desperate enough to pay for their services, is not the least of the mysteries surrounding them. The Dark Brotherhood sprang from a religious order, the Morag Tong, during the Second Era. The Morag Tong were worshippers of the Daedra spirit Mephala, who encouraged them to commit ritual murders. I had this wonderful thought. The Daedra spirit Mephala, who encouraged them to commit tax fraud. That would be really funny. Just have some Daedra that's just committed to doing like blue-collar crime. White-collar crime would be fine. In their early years, they were as disorganized as only obscure cultists could be. There was no one to lead the band, and as a group, they dared not murder anybody of any importance. This changed with the rise of the Night Mother. All leaders of the Morag Tong, and then afterward the Dark Brotherhood, have been called the Night Mother. Whether the same woman, if it is even a woman, has commanded the Dark Brotherhood since the Second Era is unknown. What is believed is that the original Night Mother developed an important doctrine of the Morag Tong, the belief that, while Mephala does grow stronger with every murder committed in her name, certain murders were better than others. Murders that came from hate pleased Mephala more than murders committed because of greed. Murders of great men and women pleased Mephala more than murders of relative unknowns. We can approximate the time this belief was adopted with the first known murder committed by the Morag Tong. In the year 324 of the Second Era, the potentate Versidue Shai was murdered in his palace in what is today the Elsewhere kingdom of Senchal. In a brash move, the Night Mother announced the identity of the murderers by painting Morag Tong on the walls in the potentate's own blood. Stylish. Previous to that, the Morag Tong existed in relative peace, more or less like a witch's coven, occasionally persecuted but usually ignored. In remarkable synchronicity at a time when Tamriel the Arena was a fractured land, the Morag Tong was outlawed throughout the continent. Every sovereign gave the cult's elimination his highest priority. Nothing more was officially heard of them for 100 years. It is more difficult to date the era when the Morag Tong re-emerged as the Dark Brotherhood, especially as other guilds of assassins have sporadically appeared throughout the history of Tamriel. The first mention of the Dark Brotherhood that I have found is from the journals of the Blood Queen Arlamahera of Hagath. She spoke of, or Hegathi, I don't know. It's not like there's like some set in stone list of pronunciation. Like, you can kind of guess from real languages how they're said, and these are like random letters thrown together in a soup. She spoke of slaying her enemies by her own hand, or if necessary, with the help of the Night Mother and her Dark Brotherhood, the secret arsenal my family has employed since my grandfather's time. Arlamahera wrote this in 2E412, so one can surmise that the Dark Brotherhood had been in existence since at least 360, if her grandfather had truly made use of them. The important distinction between the Dark Brotherhood, the Bark Brotherhood, and the Morag Tong was that the Brotherhood was a business as much as it was a cult. Rulers and wealthy merchants used the order as an assassin's guild. What else would it be? Wait a minute, what else would it be? Okay. The Brotherhood gained the obvious rewards of a profitable enterprise, as well as the secondary benefit that rulers could no longer actively persecute them. They were needed. They were purveyors of an essential commodity. Even an extremely virtuous leader would be unwise to mistreat the Brotherhood. Not long after Arlamahera's... I'm having flashbacks to this group of assassins. I think it's where the word assassin comes from. Back in... Oh, God. Back in the Crusades. They got whacked. They died. They were definitely mistreated. Not long after Arlamahera's journal entry came perhaps the most famous series of executions in the history of the Dark Brotherhood. The Colovian Emperor Potentate Severian Chorak and every one of his heirs were murdered on one bloody night in Sun's Dawn in 430. Within a fortnight, the Colovian dynasty crumbled to the delight of its enemies. For over 400 years, until the advent of the warrior emperor Tiber Septim, chaos reigned over Tamriel. Though no comparably impressive executions have been recorded, the Brotherhood must have grown fat with gold during that interregnum. I love these people read as much as I do. Like, they pick up these fucking weird words and they read all this old shit. It's sometimes I'm disturbed by how, like, modern readers, like people who read now, it doesn't seem like they read very much outside of what's recent. And you can tell these folks, they read a bunch of old documents, the old way of saying things, these like just turns of phrase and archaic words and turns of phrase that they don't use anymore, and it's just refreshing. It's interesting. But people don't seem so interested in it anymore, I guess. It kind of bothers me. I guess people have worried about the quality of readers since time immemorial, but it just seems like people are dumber. Maybe that's just me getting older and being grumpier. I don't know. It's probably just my problem. What do you want to bet? Anyway, okay, executions. The Dark Brotherhood has no shortage of business opportunities, and accounting, I have been informed, is the Brotherhood's favorite euphemism for an execution. While they are officially considered an unlawful organization in every corner of the Empire, like the Thieves' Guild, they are almost as universally tolerated. And it is, it reminds me, the colors remind me of a watermelon. I'm sure that's not what they meant. Oh boy, Berenzia. I don't know if I have it in me to read Berenzia. Oh, Anticipations is what they're called. I've read that. Ruins of Kimmel Z, Sarioni's Sermons. Ah, fuck. Which ones do I want? I'm scared of Berenzia. I used to hate Berenzia. It was hard for me to read. Let's see if it has what I remember. There's a scene in the Berenzia novel that I wanted to reread to make sure I had read it correctly, which is that she's running from somebody and is given an abortion with magic from across a room and passes out. So I'm about to find out if that's actually what I read or not, or if I'm just lying to people because I was just horrified. Anyway, biography of Queen Berenzia by Stern Gambogi. Gambogi, Imperial Scribe. Late in the Second Era, a girl child, Berenzia, was born to the rulers of the Kingdom of Mournhold in what is now the Imperial Province of Morrowind. She was reared in all the luxury and security befitting a royal dark elven child until she reached 5 years of age. At that time, His Excellency Tiber Septim I, the first emperor of Tamriel, demanded that the decadent rulers of Morrowind yield to him and institute imperial reforms. Trusting to their vaunted magic, the Dark Elves impudently refused until Tiber Septim's army was on their borders. An armistice was hastily signed by the now eager Dummer, but not before there were several battles, one of which laid waste to Mournhold, now called Almalexia. Little Princess Berenzia and her nurse were found among the wreckage. The Imperial General Symmachus, himself a Dark Elf, suggested to Tiber Septim that the child might someday be valuable, and she was therefore placed with a loyal supporter who had recently retired from the Imperial Army. Sven Advinson had been granted the title of Count upon his retirement. His fiefdom, Darkmoor, was a small town in central Skyrim. Count Sven and his wife reared the princess as their own daughter, seeing to it that she was educated appropriately, and more importantly, that the imperial virtues of obedience, discretion, loyalty, and piety were instilled in the child. In short, she was made fit to take her place as a member of the new ruling class of Morrowind. The girl Berenzia grew in beauty, grace, and intelligence. She was sweet-tempered, a joy to her adoptive parents and their 5 young sons, who loved her as their elder sister. Other than her appearance, she differed from young girls of her class only in that she had a strong empathy for the woods and fields, and was wont to escape her household duties to wander there at times. Berenzia was happy and content until her 16th year, when a wicked orphan stable boy, whom she had befriended out of pity, told her he had overheard a conspiracy between her guardian, Count Sven, and a Redguard visitor to sell her as a concubine in rehab, as no Nord or Breton would marry her on account of her black skin, and no Dark Elf would have her because of her foreign upbringing. "Whatever shall I do?" the poor girl said, weeping and trembling, for she had been brought up in innocence and trust, and it never occurred to her that her friend the stable boy would lie to her. The wicked boy, who was called Straw, said she must run away if she valued her virtue, but that he would come with her as her protector. Sorrowfully, Berenzia agreed to this plan, and that very night she disguised herself as a boy, and the pair escaped to the nearby city of Whiterun. After a few days there, they managed to get jobs as guards for a disreputable merchant caravan. The caravan was heading east by side roads in a mendacious attempt to elude the lawful tolls charged on the imperial highways. Thus the pair eluded pursuit until they reached the city of Riften, where they ceased their travels for a time. They felt safe in Riften, close as it was to the Morrowind border, so that Dark Elves were enough of a common sight. Okay, maybe the one I read was more of a, more wild. I don't remember. It was, as I recall, it was terrible in ways that were difficult to express. Biography of Queen Berenzia, Volume 2 by Stern Gambogi, Imperial Scribe. The first volume of the series told the story of Berenzia's origin, heiress to the throne of Mournhold until her father rebelled against His Excellency Tiber Septim I and brought ruin to the province of Morrowind. Thanks largely to the benevolence of the Emperor, the child Berenzia was not destroyed with her parents, but reared by Count Sven of Darkmoor, a loyal imperial trustee. She grew up into a beautiful and pious child, trustful of her guardian's care. This trust, however, was exploited by a wicked orphan stable boy at Count Sven's estate, who with lies and fabrications tricked her into fleeing Darkmoor with him when she turned 16. After many adventures on the road, they settled in Riften, a Skyrim city near the Morrowind borders. I actually know about that place. Wow, I remember weird things. The stable boy Straw was not altogether evil. He loved Berenzia in his own selfish fashion, and deception was the only way he could think of that would cement possession of her. She, of course, felt only friendship toward him, but he was hopeful that she would gradually change her mind. He wanted to buy a small farm and settle down into a comfortable marriage, but at the time his earnings were barely enough to feed and shelter them. After only a short time in Riften, Straw fell in with a bold, villainous Khajiit thief named Theris, who proposed that they rob the Imperial Commandant's house in the central part of the city. Theris said that he had a client, a traitor to the Empire, who would pay well for any information they could gather there. Berenzia happened to overhear this plan and was appalled. She stole away from their rooms and walked the streets of Riften in desperation, torn between her loyalty to the Empire and her love for her friends. In the end, loyalty to the Empire prevailed over personal friendship, and she approached the Commandant's house, revealed her true identity, and warned him of her friend's plan. The Commandant listened to her tale, praised her courage, and assured her that no harm would come to her. He was none other than General Symmachus, who had been scouring the countryside in search of her since her disappearance, and had just arrived in Riften, hot in pursuit. He took her into his custody, and informed her that, far from being sent away to be sold, she was to be reinstated as the Queen of Mournhold as soon as she turned 18. Until that time, she was to live with the Septim family in the newly built Imperial City, where she would learn something of government and be presented at the Imperial Court. At the Imperial City, Berenzia befriended the Emperor Tiber Septim during the middle years of his reign. Tiber's children, particularly his eldest son and heir Pelagius, came to love her as a sister. The ballads of the day praised her beauty, chastity, wit, and learning. On her 18th birthday, the entire Imperial City turned out to watch her farewell procession preliminary to her return to her native land. Sorrowful as they were at her departure, all knew that she was ready for her glorious destiny as sovereign of the Kingdom of Mournhold. Yeah, this isn't the crazy one. I think there's one where it's written by her own hand, or that's supposedly the appeal. This is Volume 3. In the second volume of this series, it was told how Berenzia was kindly welcomed to the newly constructed Imperial City by the Emperor Tiber Septim and his family, who treated her like a long-lost daughter during her almost one-year stay. After several happy months there learning her duties as vassal queen under the Empire, the Imperial General Symmachus escorted her to Mournhold, where she took up her duties as queen of her people under his wise guidance. Gradually, they came to love one another and were married and crowned in a splendid ceremony at which the emperor himself officiated. After several hundred years of marriage, a son, Helsith, was born to the royal company amid celebration and joyous prayer. Although it was not publicly known at the time, it was shortly before this blessed event that the Staff of Chaos had been stolen from its hiding place deep in the Mournhold mines by a clever, enigmatic bard known only as the Nightingale. 8 years after Helsith's birth, Berenzia bore a daughter, Morgia, named after Symmachus's mother, and the royal couple's joy seemed complete. Alas, shortly after that, relations with the Empire mysteriously deteriorated, leading to much civil unrest in Mournhold. After fruitless investigations and attempts at reconciliation, in despair, Berenzia took her young children and traveled to the Imperial City herself to seek the ear of then Emperor Uriel Septim VII. Okay, so wow, she was not... Because Uriel Septim VII, that's currently the Emperor, correct? So this is in living memory. Symmachus remained in Mournhold to deal with the grumbling peasants and annoyed nobility, and do what he could to stave off an impending insurrection. During her audience with the Emperor, Berenzia, through her magical arts, came to realize to her horror and dismay that the so-called Emperor was an impostor, none other than the bard Nightingale who had stolen the Staff of Chaos. Exercising great self-control, she concealed this realization from him. That evening, news came that Symmachus had fallen in battle with the revolting peasants of Mournhold, and that the kingdom had been taken over by the rebels. Berenzia at this point did not know where to seek help, or from whom. The gods that fateful night, were evidently looking out for her as if in redress of her loss. King Yadwer of High Rock, an old friend of Uriel Septim and Symmachus, came by on a social call. He comforted her, pledged his friendship, and furthermore confirmed her suspicions that the Emperor was indeed a fraud, and none other than Jagger Tharn, the Imperial battle mage, and one of the Nightingale's many alter egos. Tharn had supposedly retired into seclusion from public work and installed his assistant Rhea Silmain in his stead. The hapless assistant was later put to death under mysterious circumstances. Supposedly a plot implicating her had been uncovered, and she had been summarily executed. However, her ghost had appeared to Yadwer in a dream and revealed to him that the true emperor had been kidnapped by Tharn and imprisoned in an alternate dimension. I love that. It's like, again, this is how it feels. They talk about people dying in childbirth. They talk about people dying by falling off their horse and people being put in jail and dying in battle. And then it's like, and then we imprison him in an alternate dimension, and it just gets me every fucking time. Tharn had then used the Staff of Chaos to kill her when she attempted to warn the Elder Council of his nefarious plot. Together, Yadwir and Berenzia, or Eadweir, I guess. Eadweir, I don't know. Plotted to gain the false emperor's confidence. Meanwhile, another friend of Rhea's, known only as the Champion, who apparently possessed great, albeit then untapped, potential, was incarcerated at the Imperial dungeons. However, she had access to his dreams, and she told him to bide his time until she could devise a plan that would effect his escape. Then he could begin on his mission to unmask the impostor. Berenzia continued to charm and eventually befriended the Ursat's emperor. By contriving to read his secret diary, she learned that he had broken the Staff of Chaos into 8 pieces and hidden them in far-flung locations scattered across Tamriel. She managed to obtain a copy of the key to Rhea's friend's cell and bribed a guard to leave it there as if by accident. Their champion, whose name was unknown even to Berenzia and Yadwir, made his escape through Yadwire. Dwyer? Maybe it's Dwyer. Dwyer. Made his escape through a shift gate Rhea had opened in an obscure corner of the Imperial dungeons using her already failing powers. The champion was free at last and almost immediately went to work. It took Berenzia several more months to learn the hiding places of all 8 staff pieces through snatches of overheard conversation and rare glances at Tharn's diary. Once she had the vital information, however, which she communicated to Rhea forthwith, who in turn passed it on to the champion, she and Eadwire lost no time. They fled to Wayrest, his ancestral kingdom in the province of High Rock, where they managed to fend off the sporadic efforts of Tharn's henchmen to haul them back to the Imperial city, or at the very least obtain revenge. Tharn, whatever else might be said of him, was no one's fool, save perhaps Berenzia's, and he concentrated most of his efforts towards tracking down and destroying the champion. As all now know, the courageous, indefatigable, and forever nameless champion was successful in reuniting the 8 sundered pieces of the Staff of Chaos. With it, he destroyed Tharn and rescued the true emperor, Uriel Septim VII. Following what has come to be known as the Restoration, a grand state memorial service was held for Smackus at the Imperial city, befitting the man who had served the Septim dynasty for so long and so well. Berenzia and good King Eadwire had come to care deeply for one another during their trials and adventures, and were married in the same year shortly after their flight from the Imperial city. Her true children from her previous marriage with Smackus remained with her, and a regent was appointed to rule Mournhold in her absence. Up to the present time, Queen Berenzia has been in Wayrest with Prince Helseth and Princess Morgia. Oh, so the Morgia story, that just happened. Okay, this is a person that I could meet. She plans to return to Mournhold after Eadwire's death. Since he was already elderly when they wed, she knows that the event, alas, cannot be far off, as the elves reckon time. Until then, she shares in the government of the Kingdom of Wayrest with her husband, and seems glad and content with her finely quiet and happily unremarkable life. I wish I could have an unremarkable life. I really do. That's what I want more than anything. I have had nothing but the most exciting fucking life of all fucking time, and it makes me angry every time. And I just want to be free, okay? I just want to be free. That's all I gotta say. I don't know. It's been years, you know? It's been years. I'm really done. It's been 20 plus years. I'm very bitter. Okay, Saryani's Sermons, Blessed Elm, CV, Mercy, Mastery, Mystery. Okay. This volume of the Hieroglypha, also known as priestly writings, was written and collected with commentary by Archcanon Tholer Saryani. It is the best-selling of the temple annotated texts, and therefore inexpensive and commonly found in most Dunmer households. Saryani connects. Sariani collects Vivek's most famous sermons and the popular explanations of his Gospels. I was smelling some Gnosticism in here. I just had this feeling whoever wrote this was familiar with, like, some of the older... Don't ask me to come up with anything yet. My brain is super screwed today, but I wasn't able to sleep for like a week until the past 2 days. So I'm still kind of reeling, but so don't count on me being correct in any way, but there's certain turns of phrase, certain words they use, certain concepts that just make me go, you were like me, weren't you? You were raised in a weird house where they had like all these old books and shit. And you read that, and it became part of you, and then you couldn't relate to anybody, and nobody could relate to you for the rest of time. Okay. Alright. Sariani collects Vivek's most famous sermons and the popular explanation of his Gospels. This text exists in many editions. More elaborate editions are handsomely illuminated with Vivek's quotations from the Gospels for days, seasons, and festivals. Listen, faithful, to Vivek's words, for he says 5 times and 5 ways. Forge a keen faith in the crucible of suffering. Fuck you. Engrave upon thy eye the image of injustice. Nani? Death does not diminish. The ghost gilds with glory. Ghost gilds other people, I guess. Faith conquers all. Let us yield to faith. Better to suffer a wrong than to do one. Look, if all you can see is injustice, what are you going to do? I started to look at all the first letters of each line, but it doesn't actually mean anything. It just looks like... Hear the words of Lord Vivek and heed his sermons on the 7 graces, for he names them 7 times and 7 ways. Valor, daring, justice, courtesy, pride, generosity, humility. The grace of valor. Thank you for your valor, Lord Vivek. I shall not quail, nor turn away, but face my enemies and my fear. The grace of daring. Thank you for your daring, Lord Vivek. I shall not shun risk, nor hide behind the mask of cautious counsel, for fortune favors the bold. The grace of justice. Thank you for your justice, Lord Vivek. I shall be neither cruel nor arbitrary, for fair dealings earned the love, trust, and respect of our people. The grace of courtesy. Thank you for your courtesy, Lord Vivek. I shall speak neither hurtful nor harsh word, but shall speak respectfully, even of my enemies, for temperate words may turn aside anger. That's a fucking proverb. That's in Proverbs. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, the grace of pride. Thank you for your pride, Lord Vivek. I shall not doubt myself nor my people or my gods, and shall insist upon them and my ancient rights. The grace of generosity. Thank you for your generosity, Lord Vivek. I shall neither hoard nor steal, nor encumber myself with profitless treasures, but shall share freely among house and hearth. The grace of humility. Thank you for your humility, Lord Vivek. I shall neither strut nor preen vanity, but shall know and give thanks for my place in the greater world. Oh. Invocation of Azura by Sigala Parati. I think this is it. There's also the special flora of Tamriel, but I think that's pretty common, and I'm not sure I feel like reading it yet, so... and I know that's pretty common too. These are also common. I want to read about Azura, I really do. For 300 years, I have been a priestess of Azura, the Daedric princess of Moonshadow, mother of the rose and queen of the night sky. Every Hoggatham, which we celebrate on the 21st of First Seed, we summon her for guidance, as well as to offer things of worth and beauty to her majesty. She is a cruel but wise mistress. We do not invoke her on any Hoggatham troubled by thunderstorms, for those nights belong to the Mad One, Sheogorath, even if they do coincide with the occasion. Azura at such times understands our caution. Azura's invocation is a very personal one. I have been priestess to 3 other Daedric princes, but Azura values the quality of her worshippers and the truth behind our adoration of her. When I was a dark elven maid of 16, I joined my grandmother's coven, worshippers of Molag Bal, the Schemer Prince. Sorry, that was really weird. The Schemer Prince. Blackmail, extortion, and bribery are as much the weapons of the witches of Molag Bal as is dark magic. The invocation of Molag Bal is held on the 20th of Evening Star, except during stormy weather. This ceremony is seldom missed, but Molag Bal often appears to his cultists in mortal guise on other dates. When my grandmother died in an attempt to poison the air of Firewatch, I re-examined my faith in the cult. Wait. Why? I was trying to see if there's some reason why that would take your faith out. I guess because she died? My brother was a warlock of the cult of Boethia, and from what he told me, the Dark Warrior was closer to my spirit than the treacherous Molag Bal. Boethia is a warrior prince who acts more overtly than any other Daedra. After years of skulking and scheming, it felt good to perform acts for a master which had direct, immediate consequences. Besides, I liked it that Boethia was a Daedra of the Dark Elves. Our cult would summon him on the day we called the Gauntlet, the second of Sun's Dusk. Bloody competitions would be held in his honor, and the duels and battles would continue until 9 cultists were killed at the hands of other cultists. Boethia cared little for his cultists, he only cared for our blood. I do think I saw him smile when I accidentally slew my brother in a sparring session. My horror, I think, greatly pleased him. Okay, I get it. Alright. I left the cult soon after that. Boethia was too impersonal for me, too cold. I wanted a mistress of greater depth. For the next 18 years of my life, I worshipped no one. Instead, I read and researched. It was in an old and profane tome that I came upon the name of Nocturnal. Nocturnal the Night Mistress, Nocturnal the Unfathomable. As the book prescribed, I called to her on her holy day, the 3rd of Hearthfire. At last I had found the personal mistress I had so long desired. I strove to understand her labyrinthine philosophy, the source of her mysterious pain. Everything about her was dark and shrouded, even the way she spoke and the acts she required of me. It took years for me to understand the simple fact that I could never understand Nocturnal. Her mystery was as essential to her as savagery was to Boethia or treachery was to Molag Bal. To understand Nocturnal is to negate her, to pull back the curtains cloaking her realm of darkness. As much as I loved her, I recognized the futility of unraveling her enigmas. I turned instead to her sister, Azura. Azura is the only Daedra princess I have ever worshipped who seems to care about her followers. Molag Bal wanted my mind, Boethia wanted my arms, and Nocturnal, perhaps my curiosity. Azura wants all of that, and our love above all. Not our abject slavering, but our honest and genuine caring in all its forms. It is important to her that our emotions be engaged in her worship, and our love must also be directed inward. If we love her and hate ourselves, she feels our pain. I will, for all time, have no other mistress. Okay, that's really neat, actually. You know, it's fine. What about this? What? Okay, I don't remember this. I'm pretty sure I read this? I guess not. I don't think I did. Okay. Oh, I hate this. It's reading the... You know what? I get this over with. I don't have to do it again. You know? Then I have it for myself. I have records of doing it. It'll be fine. The Ruins of Kemil Z by Rollard Nordsen. With the acclamations of the Fellows of the Imperial Society still ringing in my ears, I decided to return to Morrowind immediately. It was not without some regret that I bade farewell to the fleshpots of the Imperial City, but I knew that the wonders I had brought back from Raled Makai had only scratched the surface of the Dwemer ruins in Morrowind. Even more spectacular treasures were out there, I felt, just waiting to be found, and I was eager to be off. I also had before me the salutary example of poor Bannerman, who was still dining out on his single expedition to Black Marsh 20 years ago. That would never be me, I vowed. Okay. I don't know. Sounds neat. I would love to have, like, something that I could just be let to just focus on fully with my whole soul. With my letter from the Empress in hand, this time I would have the full cooperation of the Imperial authorities. No more need to worry about attacks from superstitious locals. But where should I look next? The ruins at Kemelz were the obvious choice. Unlike Raled Mackay, getting to the ruins would not be a problem. Also known as the Cliff City, Kemelz lies on the mainland side of the Vardenfell Rift, sprawling down the sheer coastal cliff. Travelers from the east coast of Vardenfell often visit the site by boat, and it can also be reached overland from the nearby villages without undue hardship. Since my expedition had assembled in Seyda with the usual tedious complications involved in operating in this half-civilized land, we set out for the village of Morrowind near the ruins, where we hoped to hire a party of diggers. My interpreter, Tuin Panai, an unusually jolly fellow for a dark elf who I had hired in Seyda at the recommendation of the local garrison commander, assured me that the local villagers would be very familiar with Kemelz, having looted the site for generations. Incidentally, Tenpenny, as we soon came to call him to his constant amusement, proved invaluable, and I would recommend him without hesitation to any of my colleagues who were planning similar expeditions to the Wild of Morrowind. At Morag, we ran into our first trouble. The hetman of the village, a reserved, elegant old fellow, seemed willing to cooperate, but the local priest, a representative of the absurd religion they have here, worshipping something called the Tribunal, whom they claim actually live in palaces in Morrowind, was fervently against us excavating the ruins. He looked likely to sway the villagers to his side with his talk of religious taboos, but I waved the Empress's letter under his nose and mentioned something about my friend the garrison commander at Seyda, and he quieted right down. No doubt this was just a standard negotiating tactic arranged among the villagers to increase their pay. In any event, once the priest had stalked off muttering to himself, no doubt calling down curses upon the heads of the foreign devils, we soon had a line of villagers eager to sign on to the expedition. While my assistant was working out the mundane details of contracts, supplies, etc., Master Aram and I rode on to the ruins. By land, they can only be reached using narrow paths that wind down the face of the cliff from above, where any misstep threatens to send one tumbling into the sea, foaming about the jagged rocks below. The city's original entrance to the surface must have been in the part of the city to the northeast, the part that fell into the sea long ago when the eruption of Red Mountain created this mind-bogglingly vast crater. After successfully navigating the treacherous path, we found ourselves in a large chamber open to the sky on one side, disappearing into the darkness on the other. As we stepped forward, our boots crunched on piles of broken metal as common in dwarven ruins as potsherds and other ancient sites. This was obviously where the looters brought their finds from deeper levels, stripping off the valuable outer casings of the dwarven mechanisms and leaving their innards here, easier than lugging the intact mechanisms back up to the top of the cliff. I laughed to myself, thinking of the mini-warriors unwittingly walking around Tamriel with pieces of dwarven mechanisms on their backs. For that, of course, is what most dwarven armor really is, just the armored shells of ancient mechanical men. I sobered when I thought of how exceedingly valuable an intact mechanism would be. This place was obviously full of dwarven devices, judging from the litter covering the floor of this vast chamber, or had been, I reminded myself. Looters had been working over this site for centuries. Just the casing alone would be worth a small fortune, sold as armor. Most dwarven armor is made of mismatched pieces from various devices, hence its reputation for being bulky and unwieldy. But a matched set from an intact mechanism is worth more than its weight in gold, for the pieces all fit together smoothly, and the wearer hardly notices the bulk. Of course, I had no intention of destroying my finds for armor, no matter how valuable. I would bring it back to the Society for Scientific Study. I imagined the astonished cries of my colleagues as I unveiled it at my next lecture, and smiled again. I picked up a discarded gear from the piles at my feet. It still gleamed brightly as if new made, the dwarven alloys resisting the corrosion of time. I wondered what secrets remained hidden in the maze of chambers that lay before me, defying the efforts of looters, waiting to gleam again in the light they had not seen in long eons. Waiting for me. It remained only to find them. With an impatient gesture to Master Aram to follow, I strode forward into the gloom. Master Aram, Tenpenny, and I spent several days exploring the ruins while my assistant set up camp at the top of the cliff and hauled supplies and equipment from the village. I was looking for a promising area to begin excavation, a blocked passage or corridor untouched by looters that might lead to completely untouched areas of the ruins. We found 2 such areas early on, but soon discovered that the many winding passages bypassed the blockage and gave access to the rooms behind. Nevertheless, even these outer areas, for the most part stripped clean of artifacts by generations of looters, were full of interests to the professional archaeologist. behind a massive bronze door, burst from its hinges by some ancient turmoil of the earth, we discovered a large chamber filled with exquisite wall carvings, which impressed even the jaded Tenpenny, who claimed to have explored every dwarven ruin in Morrowind. They seemed to depict an ancient ritual of some kind, with a long line of classically bearded dwarven elders processing down the side walls, all seemingly bowing to the giant form of a god carved into the front wall of the chamber, which was caught in the act of stepping forth from the crater of a mountain in a cloud of smoke or steam. According to Master Aram, there are no known depictions of dwarven religious rituals, so this was an exciting find indeed. I set a team to work prying the carved panels from the wall, but they were unable to even crack the surface. That's classical archaeology for you. On closer examination, the chamber appeared to be faced with a metallic substance with the texture and feel of stone, impervious to any of our tools. I considered having Master Aram try his blasting magic on the walls, but decided that the risk of destroying the carvings was too great. Much as I would have preferred to bring them back to the Imperial City, I had to settle for taking rubbings of the carvings. If my colleagues in the Society showed enough interest, I was sure a specialist could be found. Perhaps a master alchemist who could find a way to safely remove the panels. Or you could just fucking leave them. I found another curious room at the top of a long winding stair, barely passable due to the fall of rubble from the roof. At the top of the stair was a domed chamber, with a large ruined mechanism at its center. Painted constellations were still visible in some places on the surface of the dome. Master Aram and I agreed that this must have been some kind of observatory, and the mechanism was therefore the remains of a dwarven telescope. To remove it from ruins down to the narrow stairway would require its complete disassembly, which fact no doubt had preserved it from the attention of looters, so I decided to leave it in place for the time being. The existence of this observatory suggested, however, that this room had once been above the surface. Closer examination of the structure revealed that this was indeed a building, not an excavated chamber. The only other doorways from the room were completely blocked, and careful measurements from the top of the cliff to the entry room and then to the observatory revealed that we were still more than 250 feet below the present ground level, a sobering reminder of the forgotten fury of Red Mountain. This discovery led us to focus our attentions downward. Since we now knew approximately where the ancient surface lay, we could rule out many of the higher blocked passages. One wide passage, impressively flanked with carved pillars, particularly drew my interest. It ended in a massive rockfall, but we could see where looters had begun and then abandoned a tunnel through this debris. With my team of diggers and Master Aram's magery to assist, I believed we could succeed where our predecessors had failed. I therefore set my dream team of dark elves to work on clearing the passage, relieved finally to be beginning the real exploration of Kemelzee. Soon, I hoped, my boots would be stirring up dust that had lain undisturbed since the dawn of time. With this exciting prospect before me, I may have driven my diggers a bit too hard. Tenpenny reported that they were beginning to grumble about the long days, and that some were talking of quitting. Knowing from experience that nothing puts heart back into these dark elves like a taste of the lash, oh, what a guy, I had the ringleaders whipped and the rest confined to the ruins until they had finished clearing the passageway. You're gonna get murdered. Thanks Stendar for my foresight in requisitioning a few legionnaires from Say to Need. They were sullen at first, but with the promise of an extra day's wages when they broke through, they soon set to work with a will. While these measures may sound harsh to my readers back in the comforts of civilization, let me assure you that there is no other way to get these people to stick to a task. The blockage was much worse than I had first thought, and in the end it took almost 2 weeks to clear the passage. The diggers were as excited as I was when their picks finally broke through the far end into emptiness, and we shared a round of the local liquor together, a foul concoction in truth, to show that all was forgiven. You're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get murdered and I'll laugh. I'm gonna laugh so hard. Story of how this man got himself fucking stabbed in the neck. Boy. Oh yeah, good. 60 frames per second for these JPEGs. Good. I I could hardly restrain my eagerness as they enlarged the hole to allow entry into the chamber beyond. Would the passage lead to entire new levels of the ancient city filled with artifacts left by the vanished dwarves? Or would it only be a dead end, some side passage leading nowhere? My excitement grew as I slid through the hole and crouched for a moment in the darkness beyond. From the echoing sounds of the stones rattling beneath my feet, I was in a large room, perhaps very large. I hope they block the hole behind him. I stood up carefully and unhooded my lantern. As the light flooded the chamber, I looked around in astonishment. Here were wonders beyond even my wildest dreams. As the light from my lamp filled the chamber beyond the rockfall, I looked around in astonishment. Again. Everywhere was the warm glitter of dwarven alloys. I had found an untouched section of the ancient city. My heart pounding with excitement, I looked around me. The room was vast, the roof soaring up into darkness beyond the reach of my lamp, the far end lost in shadows with only a tantalizing glimmer hinting at treasures not yet revealed. Along each wall stood rows of mechanical men, intact except for one oddity. Their heads had been ritually removed and placed on the floor at their feet. This could mean only one thing. I had discovered the tomb of a great dwarven noble, maybe even a king. Burials of this type had been discovered before, most famously by Ransom's expedition to Hammerfell, but no completely intact tomb had ever been found, until now. I thought this kind of smacked of Tutankhamun, and yeah. But if this was truly a royal burial, where was the tomb? I stepped forward gingerly, the rows of headless bodies standing silently as they had for eons, their disembodied eyes seeming to watch me as I passed. This is legitimately fun. I had heard wild tales of the curse of the dwarves, but had always laughed it off as superstition. But now, breathing the same air as the mysterious builders of this city, which had lain undisturbed since the cataclysm that spelled their doom, I felt a twinge of fear. There was some power here, I felt, something malevolent that resented my presence. I stopped for a moment and listened. All was silent. Except, it seemed I heard a faint hiss, regular as breathing. I fought down a sudden urge of panic. I was unarmed, not thinking of danger in my haste to explore past the blocked passage. Sweat dripped down my face as I scanned the gloom for any movement. The room was warm, I suddenly noticed, much warmer than the rest of the labyrinth thus far. My excitement returned. Could I have found a section of the city still connected to a functioning steam grid? Pipes ran along the walls, as in all sections of the city. I walked over and placed my hand on one. It was hot, almost too hot to touch. Now I saw that in places where the ancient piping had corroded, small jets of steam were escaping. The sound I had heard. I laughed at my own credulity. Credulity? Yeah. I now advanced quickly to the far end of the room, giving a cheerful salute to the ranks of mechanical soldiers who had appeared so menacing only moments before. I smiled with triumph as the light swept back the darkness of centuries to reveal the giant effigy of a dwarven king standing on a raised dais, his metal hand clutching his rod of office. This was the prize indeed. I circled the dais slowly, admiring the craftsmanship of the ancient dwarves. The Golden King stood 20 feet tall under a freestanding domed cupola. Cupola? I've never actually had to say that out loud. Cupola. His long, upswept beard jutting forward proudly as his glittering metal eyes seemed to follow me. But my superstitious mood had passed, and I gazed benevolently upon the old dwarven king. My king, as I had already begun to think of him. I stepped onto the dais to get a better look at the sculpted armor. Suddenly the eyes of the figure opened, and it raised a mailed fist to strike. I leaped to one side as the golden arm came crashing down, striking sparks from the steps where I had stood a moment before. With a hiss of steam and the whir of gears, the giant figure stepped ponderously out from under its canopy and strode towards me with frightening speed, its eyes tracking me as I scrambled backwards. I dodged behind a pillar as the fist whistled down again. I had dropped my lantern in the confusion, and now I crept into the darkness outside, in the pool of light, hoping to slip between the headless mechanisms and thus escape back to the safety of the passageway. Where had the monster gone? You would think that a 20-foot golden king would be hard to miss, but he was nowhere to be seen. The guttering lamp only illuminated a small part of the room. He could be hiding anywhere in the gloom. I crawled faster. Without warning, the dim ranks of dwarven soldiers in front of me went flying as the monstrous guardian loomed before me. He had cut off my escape. As I dodged backwards, blow after blow whistled down as the implacable machine followed me relentlessly, driving me into a far corner of the room. At last there was nowhere left for me to go. My back was to the wall. I glared up at my foe, determined to die on my feet, the huge fists lifted for one final blow. The room blazed with sudden light. Bolts of purple energy crackled across the metal carapace of the dwarven monster, and it halted, half turning to meet this new threat. Master Aram had come! I was about to raise a cheer when the giant figure turned back to me, unharmed by the lightning bolt hurled by Master Aram, determined to destroy this first intruder. I shouted out, "Steam! Steam!" as the giant raised his fist to crush me into the floor. There was a hiss and a gust of bitter cold, and I looked up. The monster was now covered with a shell of ice, frozen in the very moment of dispatching me. Master Aram had understood. I leaned against the wall with relief. The ice cracked above me. The giant golden king stood before me, the shell of ice falling away, his head swiveling toward me in triumph. Was there no stopping this dwarven monstrosity? But then a light faded from his eyes and his arms dropped to his side. The magical frost had worked, cooling its steam-driven energy. As Master Aram and the diggers crowded around me, congratulating me on my narrow escape, my thoughts drifted. I imagined my return to the Imperial City, and I knew that this would be my greatest triumph yet. How could I possibly top this find? Perhaps it was time to move on. Recovering the fabled Eye of Argonia. Now that would be a coup. I smiled to myself, reveling in the glory of the moment, but already planning my next adventure. Wow, I hate that man. I'm going to tell you something. Special Flora of Tamriel and Overview of Gods and Worship, I'll worry about some other time. That's really long. How long is it? Oh, God. I really don't think I can do this. Oh, they're both not very long. You know, I've already spent like hours doing this. I might as well just finish. Special Flora of Tamriel by Hardin the Herbalist. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm tired. I want to go run around and look at things now. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to anyone, but I'm mostly sorry to myself. What's this? What's back here? I hope there's some cool shit back here. Is there cool shit back here? Will I get in trouble? Can I sleep here? Will they stop me? That's the only thing that matters. That might be good to have. Personality is my main power. I think that makes sense. You have ascended to level 4. It's all suddenly obvious to you. You just have to concentrate. All the energy and time you've wasted, it's a sin. But without the experience you've gained taking risks, taking responsibility for failure, how could you have understood? Hi, assholes. These really are Telvoni. They don't give a shit. Thanks for letting me sleep in your house.
Can't help
Seek
you,
information
No.
on Guardian.
Get out of here. Stealing all your shit. I'm leaving. You know what? Is there a faster way to get back? Or do I have to... Let me look at my world. Mirandus. Oh, God. I think... I don't know where I'd go if I used some of this. If I used, like, the recall. What is the... Not recall. Oh, well.
I'm busy, so if you will excuse me.
I would beat you to death, but I'm tired. I want to go tell the Mage Guild that I finished their mage quest. Why? Okay. I'm gonna go sell shit. Okay, where am I going? We're going back to Balmora, thanks. I just spent like 3 hours just reading some books. Now I'm tired. Honestly, this is fine. I'm sure I'll do some more exploring later. I've left dead bodies in my path like breadcrumbs. Going to Balmora. Let's head that way. Hello, War. You better not be weird. He's weird. Okay, look here, buddy boy. Pac-Man Guar destroyed. Thank you for your skin. Leave me the fuck alone. I just want to relax. Life's hard. I'm on level 4. I'm just a baby. Oh fuck, I need to go to Balmora. What am I doing? Take shortcut. The cliff racers are here. And I'm about to... You know what? Fuck you guys. No! This is about to be really bad, you guys. I made a mistake. Get out of here. Get out. Just die. Thank you. Leave me alone now. Okay, I fucked up. Oh, you wanna fight? We can all fight together. That's fine. I got the... Man, I finally have my stats up to a point where I hit every time, which is just fine by me. Why? 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 I hate. Oh, this is the place that Dan told me to visit. Oh, no! Behold, dead rat. Give me your flesh. What is this? I forget what this is even called. He knows, Dan knows what it is called. I do not. And frankly, I do not care. Yet. Going the wrong direction again. Ay. I gotta watch it. Sounds like a bug is after me. There's just some scamp around? Okay, well bye. I don't know what's going on, so tell me whenever you figure it out. Oh, something's trying to kill me. Oh, I knew it was you! I knew it was! Get fucked. Don't you have something else to do? Don't you have literally anything better to do? Isn't there like some kind of hobby that cliff racers can have? I guess I'm the hobby. That sucks. Oh, neat. I want to take this. Please give. Oh, the terrible music is still playing. They're after me. The beautiful music is playing. But nobody knows why. You know, it's fine. I'm out of here. You guys figure it out. Let's see, this way. I think there's a Guar back here who's probably gonna give me trouble at some point. Of course, he can kiss my fat Argonian tail. Ooh! He did, too. He tried. My favorite kind of I saved your life. You were gonna be stuck in that hole forever. You should be thankful. Oh wow, that's a face. I love him. He's beautiful. Where are you? I knew you were around here. Chasing you. Hunting me. You probably saw me from across the fucking map. Yeah, that's right. I'll do it again. Balmora, Balmora. We are going to Balmora. Stabbing with my spear. I'll dodge the bug right here. Balmora, Balmora. And after I get to Belmora, I'm going to stop and take a walk. See myself some sights. Like some fireflies. I'm going to go look at some fireflies. People are... I think it's magical to see fireflies. They only really can be... they can only really breed when there's, like, leaf litter. So I think people must be learning that slowly but surely, because I actually saw some. It used to be that, you know, you wouldn't see any at all. It's actually really disturbing. I read an article once that stated that insects are going through kind of a mass death. And nobody cares because they're bugs. But you need them for everything. They're such an important part of life. There's one bug, though, that I have a lot of difficulty accepting. And that's the fucking mosquito. Mosquito. And you know why. I don't have to explain it. I'm running. I be running. I'm back, baby. We're in normal lands now, where there are mushrooms. I love those giant mushrooms. I'll never forget playing Morrowind for the first time and just thinking how awesome that it looked. Those giant-ass mushrooms. It just felt so alien and real, oddly. Where's Belmora? This way? Okay. Oh, little patter feet. That's really cute. Hey, you guys, don't be... Belmora is this way. Belmora. Also, being forced to run around kind of teaches you the lay of the land. It kind of gives you notice details you missed before. Fort Moon Moth waits for me here. I'm wondering, when I write weird stuff eventually, I've got to fix some details. And I keep wondering if I should note details. Like the giant mushrooms, or if there are giant mushrooms in Argonia, in the Black Marsh. I think I'm gonna go to sleep at some point, not be just a big boring asshole. Better walk. Oh, yay. I figure eventually I'll just make potions to run really fast. Someone on Swit posting today had posted a meme about how, with a bunch of skeleton soldiers, and said that he thought that the graphics were indistinguishable from real life. And honestly, I kinda, yeah, been there too, buddy. If you're yawning, it's usually a sign. Hey, mage. Okay.
May I help you, Outlander?
Yeah, may I help you? Yes. Good work, Mud on her face. Maybe he'll give us some info on the Tilvani. I suppose I should find something to give you for your efforts. Here, take these spare potions. And did you get Manwi's guild dues? Yes. Good work, Mud on her face. You are the first evoker to get Manwi to pay her dues. I knew I could rely on you. left me 1,000. Oh yeah, I forgot that was part of it. Advance me? Duties? An Argonian at South Wall Corner Club is offering training in restoration without the sanction of the guild. I want someone to stop his unsanctioned training. Oh, man. Muds wouldn't give a shit. I have word... Okay. He does not have the sanction of the Mages Guild. Convince him to stop. Okay. Somebody said Larius Varro over at Fort Moonmoth is looking for you. Said he wanted to talk to you. Don't know what about. Me neither. What are the requirements? Oh. Guild dues. I'll let you know if anyone else hasn't paid their dues. Molag Amur is the rocky, uninhabited wilderness interior of southeastern Vardenfell. There are only a few paths in this area, and travel is hazardous because of the lava pools. Oh, I was there. It sucked. I nearly fell in a lava pool. So. Alright. Please tell me you're gonna spells. Ah, lady. Just like a dark elf. Fuck you. Wait, I need to go find my my room and dump stuff in it. Don't talk to me. Muds doesn't want to talk to you.
Tidings and good wishes to you, friend.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Bye. Back to my room. I missed you, room. I had so many adventures while I was gone. Wow, I'm happy to see this room. It seems a little sad almost. No, it doesn't. It's a nice room. It is my own room. I will eventually get a proper house and an apartment, hopefully, but I have to keep looking around, and to be honest, it's been a minute since I've been in Balmora enough to... For a second there, I thought I saw my door open, which is probably a sign I need to go to bed. What time is it? Oh, my bird needs to go to bed too. Shit. Well, you know, this is a good place to stop. And then I can go ahead and do some more later. I don't have to do it every day, but I want to get this... I want to follow this story and get good. Okay. All the shit that I stole was very good. There. Oh, I had it? It was here in my pocket all along? Okay. What? The Book of the Daedra. Okay, let's bring out, because I know I have to read it. Oh no. Some of this I need to get out and keep out, because I was going to read it. And the Book of Daedra. Okay, yeah, I need to read that too. Let's see if there's anything else here that I want to read. Vagaries of Magicka. Oh, I don't need 2 of them. You're gonna get sold, okay? As though I'm making an argument for it. Wait, why is this here? Oh, because it's on Tar Heel and I don't want to get rid of it. I don't know how much I care. Like, do I really want to worry about all this? Okay, unless it's exquisite, I think I'm going to dump it. Okay. How am I on stuff? We're gonna sell that. We're gonna sell a lot of that. Some of this... I'm gonna sell some to my buddy. Well, no, you know what? Life's too short. I just spent like 2 hours reading books. Let's go dump stuff. Be gone.
You may speak.
Armor. Oh yeah, I forgot I did this to you. Oh yeah, I should probably... You know, I don't care that much. Hey buddy, buy this shit. And that shit. Thank you. Buy my shit. How dare you! Look at me, I'm so pretty. And what are you? Wow, he is just not having it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Take it off me so I don't have to think about it. That's all I care about. Let's go sell some more shit. Oh, no more books. I'm done. Okay, I'm done for the day. I'm not reading any more books. No more books. No more books. No more books. Ah, Raver. I gotta tell you, Raver, you're my favorite. Yeah, that's fine. Magic. You want this spoiled poison shit? You can just have that one. I'm not even gonna try. It saved my life. Restore fatigue. Restore health. Magicka. Fortify speed. Restore health. Restore health. Restore fatigue. Quality. Restore speed. Restore magicka. Cure poison. Potion of dispel. What does that do? I actually don't know. Lightning shield. Invisibility. Fortify fatigue. Oh, girl, do you think it's time? Do you think it's time for me to... Hey, buddy, wait, no, that's extravagant. That stays with me. But let's... I'm gonna sell you this Khajiit. I sell you this Khajiit. Are you gonna wear it? Are you gonna wear it? I'd love to see if they wear the clothes I give them. No. That shit on. Show people what that Khajiit has taste. Oh, come on, buddy. Put it on. Put it on. Yes, it's... Why is it funny? It looks like a smoking jacket. He can't wear this, though. Sell it to someone who... That's mine, thanks. I'll hold on to this. Expensive ring? Yeah, I don't care. Do what I say. Do it. Okay. Man, now you're living large, buddy. Some of this stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and... What is my money like? I just realized I haven't been paying attention. Jesus Christ! Or steal from him now. Oh, I love that plate. That's a cool plate. Oh, I have been here. I've been here. You know why I know? Okay. Let's go get some training. Because actually there is something I want to do. I'm going to the South Wall Corner Club. I think I can do it now. Before I was very poor and I was having some trouble.
Go ahead, Outlander.
But
what do you need?
Unlike... okay, here I come. This must be it. I don't want to kill my,
No worries. I won't hurt you.
What?
Ask your question.
Oh, you like me? You like me? You think I'm cute? I'm very cute.
And how are you?
Fuck!
Can I help you?
Hey, Sugar Lips.
Welcome, friend.
That was freaky. Don't do that. Not yet, not yet, not yet. This is a long story. Wait, which of you is gonna teach me how to sneak real good?
Speak freely.
Okay. How much do I have to sneak train before I'm the best sneaker who ever done sneaked? I'm rich, and therefore I shall become the sneakiest sneak who ever done sneaked. Let's see. Cheerinier, teach me special spell. No shit, really? Really? Wait, really? I can level up by training? I didn't know that, actually. Wow. Why didn't I know that? You'd think I would remember that, because it's not like I didn't do it before. Okay, hey you.
Be
Hey.
well, traveler.
This must be the guy, I think. It is not the guy. Oh, it is the guy. I don't give a shit. Cute.
What is it, friend?
I do
And
it.
how are you? Can I help you?
What a very productive moment that was. Mud on her face likes this day very much. Mud on her face is now very sneaky. Let's go to Nerano Manor. Let's go to, wait, was I supposed to do anything for the Fighters Guild anytime soon, or did I just imagine everything? Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to her real fast. Oh sure, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful. Welcome, Outlander.
Sure did. I have. Advancement, please. Duties? Oh? Oh my god. What a nice person you are. I love you. You're great. Just grand human. I mean, grand mur. Your best mur who ever murred. Tell me that there are... I don't feel like doing that one. No big travels yet. How... Yeah? Okay. Sure. What are some of the things I was gonna do? I was gonna do Nerano Manor Key. I was gonna do Fighters Guild. Oh, that's right. We're doing that shit. That's what we're doing. That's why I'm learning how to be sneaky. I'm playing everybody. Because I just want money and fun and interest, and I don't care about anything else. It's really fun to kind of think about what mud on her face would actually do, because A, she would not give a shit. Now let's say that we F5'd this right here. Let us say we just F5, just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Okay. Then we hit Chameleon. Then we do this. Oh. Then we do this. Then we use... this. Oh no. It's nothing.
Help!
Oh! He didn't like that. He's just gone. Just out of curiosity, where is he? He's just leaving? Bye, you can't find me. I leave. Just kidding. Hey, at least my sneak powers are a little bit stronger now. And clearly the key will appear at some point. So, we're gonna do Chameleon. Hey, did I get any magic that I could use? Shield, fatigue. That's even better. What is it? Ah, motherfucker.
I cannot take anymore.
Well, first you gotta come over here. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He just runs away. He's scared of me. I just want to find... Hey, sir, I just want to look at your, Okay, how long does it last? 60 seconds. Okay. Then... I'm probably doing this way too much, but just fucking work. Don't notice me. Don't notice me.
That is quite
He
enough.
didn't like that, but he didn't notice it either. I mean, at first. Oh no. I think I need more sneak powers. Hey, what's up? Hey guy, where are you doing? Where are you? Where are you going? What's up? You know what? It's alright. So, I'm not sure that I need to do that much. I'm just bad at sneaking.
That is quite enough.
Do I need more... Muds on her face requires greater training. Mud on her face is kind of pathetic, really. Please, please work. It's just me. Just me. No, I don't really exist. I don't exist. Oh, not me. I'm a normal human being. I'm just a ghost. Just a ghost. I'm just ghosting around. Just ghosting, just ghost, just ghost, just ghost. Boring.
Oh God, this will not go unnoticed.
Well, it didn't, did it? I'm gonna jump on your house. Ooh, I'm gonna kick all your plates. Knock down the fire. You can't stop me. You can't stop me from doing shit. One person living in here with all these bottles? What a piece of shit. I need to do more sneak power. More sneak training. And you know what? I'm so close. There is no way that I can't do that tonight. I'm doing it. My poor bird is out there watching Stargate.
Masera.
Maybe I should go ahead and put my bird to bed. Except if I get up, I should just get up, you know? Whoa! Wow. Fabric of time and space really... Oh, I love shadows in this game. Can someone explain that to me? Oh, it was explained. His hair was too powerful. Okay, corner club. This is kind of great. I get to learn Balmora intimately.
No worries.
Of
I won't
course.
hurt
What may I do for you?
You get out of here, you Fargoth-related piece of shit.
What was that?
Hey, let's see what you think, bro. It's training? Sneak? Oh. Training. Sneak. I should really, truly. Sneak. Why am I not lying down? When I get back to Nerano's Manor, I'll do that. Sneak. How much gold do I have? Not that much. I should probably calm down. Let's see how that does.
Why is my friend here?
Yes?
Why am I so
Well-
fast? It's a beautiful night here in Balmora. I always liked the skybox. I always felt like it was just so rich. I used to live in a part of the world where the night sky was pretty dark and we could see the Milky Way. Let me tell you, I didn't know how lucky I was until I had to move to literally every other place in the world that has all the brightest lights, all brighter than the face of God. Nerano Manor! Oh, this bastard. Okay. We save. Always good. We're also going to do another save. Sometimes I like to have, you know, a little proper save hanging around. Every now and then I've corrupted my saves. It's a... you know, Morrowind is not the most excellently programmed game, as I'm sure everyone knows.
That is quite enough.
Am I ever going to be successful? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Want to fight? Yeah. Come here, you little asshole. Come here. Come back. Fucking coward. Fucking kick your ass. Fuck you. Give me your fucking key. What if I just talk to him nicely? Anyway, I just need a key. Look, I just need your key. This character's in combat. Hello? Oh, he's gone. Okay, fine. Is there any case in which I can steal this from him where he doesn't just straight up not give a shit? Okay. Please.
Oh, God.
Why? Wow. There's some magic going on here. I don't really understand it. But it seems to be that his shadow was slower than he was and clipped through the wall upside down from another level. If Dan were here, he would probably have a suggestion. Unfortunately, Dan would probably also lecture me for about 10 years, and I would eventually grow full of rage. Did you know that you are doing this wrong? Here is precisely how. I've calculated it percentage-wise.
Oh, God.
Sometimes, you know, you just want a key. That's all I want. I wonder if I can go work on that guy at the corner club. And like just maybe I could, as I recall once, let's try it. Let's try something else. Options. Silver Trandle at the Balmora Council Club. Okay. I do not really care. Here I go out. Hey. Let me out. No! Wow. Earthquake in time and space. Didn't like it. Spacequake. Hey everyone, it's me, an outsider. The lucky lockup? No. Wait, what? Council Club. Yo!
What do you want?
Nothing. Oh, why do I know you? I think I hate you. Okay. I have memories. Ancient memories. They just come back to me every now and then. Hey Trandle, what's up? You want some gold? Yes. 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 No. Should have probably tried it there. No! Yay! Let's try it. What if I just ask him? Like about the key? You know, I don't think this is gonna work. Okay, Mr. Neurano. Let's see if it works this time. Oh, yeah? And by consideration, what do you mean? I am a savant. Oh, you're the guy who wanks him. A gentleman, yeah. Sure. Let's see. Persuasion. No, fuck me. Not again. Fuck that. Bye, everyone. I can't believe that worked. How much money do I have left? That's why you don't waste it all on sneak. Oh, I went the wrong way. This is the other way. Once I do this, is there anything else I have to do? Okay, there's the Mages Guild quest where I take that one to Pelagiad, but I'm not doing that tonight. Pelagiad? Come on. There we go. Hey, Sugar Lips. What a terrible name.
Hail!
How do you do, Argonian?
Actually, no, it's a great name. Hey, yeah, here it is. Yes, here it is. Oh, thanks. I think you know what? Actually, it's worth it. Training? Advancement? Yay! Advancement? No. Jobs? Razid, no good friend of Habasi, stole Dweemer artifacts from the guild. What an asshole. Okay, so I am now mud on her face, the footpad. This is good. Go to Fat Legs, drop off, and Tlaoed. If Razid won't give you the Dwemer artifacts, find them and return them to Habasi. You must bring Habasi a dwarven goblet, a dwarven bowl, and a Dwemer tube. Okay. Well, I think that's it for the day. Me and Sugar Lips Habasi. So beautiful. Graphics truly... Oh, wow. I am going to cry because that was scary for some reason. I am stuck. Oh, wait. Oh, I should probably level up too. You know, if they have a room, I'll just buy a room. They don't have a room.
Tidings and good wishes to you.
Ay,
How do
ay,
you do,
ay,
Arthur?
ay, ay,
Aren't
ay.
you a sight?
Ay, 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 ay. What do you mean, aren't I a sight? Ay, ay, ay,
Well
ay.
met, Outlander.
I need to find a place to sleep, and then I will find a place to sleep. Boyo, boyo. I can't jump. It's fine. I can't live. Farewell, world. Wait. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go over and to my bed in the Fighters Guild and just take a nap because I have worked so goddamn hard. I worked really hard and I earned a rest. And then I'm gonna go check on my bird who has been up an extra hour. Oh, an extra hour and a half. Good. An extra 2 hours nearly. I'm sure he's fine. Hopefully he is not too crabby. This is not what I should have done. I should have planned for that, but...
Well met.
Yeah, I fucked up. It's not too bad. Sometimes the guys help me out, but I shouldn't count on them too, especially not today. Okay. And tomorrow I can read some more books. Hey, actually, I think I'm all booked out, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Until he'll, yeah, it's fine. I'll have to chase that man around. Wow. This is fine. Oh wait, there's already a quick save. It's fine. You always make multiple saves. There's no reason. Except for that one time when I got stuck in a fireplace and it just killed my whole gameplay. It's really, really sad. Anyway, okay. That was pretty good. You can't get much better, and now my bird can actually properly go to sleep. He'll be fine. There's probably a Dark Brotherhood guy outside knowing my problems, but we'll worry about this later. Okay, that's tomorrow's Morrowind problem. Thank you very much for being here, if you were. I haven't been paying much attention, except to chat, and it's been pretty quiet, so I'm assuming I was doing this unaccompanied, but thank you for hanging out here with me, and in one way or another. So, may you have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna go take a walk, I think.